Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're once again back into Depression Quest. It is a new day for me, even though it is not a new day for you. And I don't know, I'm okay today, even though it's 2 o'clock and I'm still wearing bed stuff. I don't know. Anyway, it is an unreasonably warm Wednesday evening. You spent the past several hours at work. The past week or so you found your job motivation flagging more so than usual. You've been in a fog, particularly all day today, simply going through the motions without realizing even what you've been doing half the time, and yet time seems to be moving at half speed. That is pretty accurate of most days at school for me. You're so checked out when your boss approaches you to tell you that it's dead. Okay. It's dead. I don't know what it is. And you can go home early. It barely registers. As you walk home, the streets hiss from the recent rainfall. You know that your significant other will be in classes until late, another couple of hours at least. You briefly consider using this serendipitous solitude to catch up on that project you've been working on haphazardly for the past few months. Okay, so we get to see what kind of project we're doing. So, I might be writing or drawing based on this. A while back, you and some of your older friends were at a bar catching up after liquefying considerably more of your paycheck than was perhaps responsible, and ending up thoroughly in your cups. You open to the only people you've considered yourself close to and end up launching into a drunken tirade about the meaningless of your utterly menial job and ultimately your own existence. Well, I haven't really had that experience primarily because I've never really been much of a drinker. I haven't really found anything that I really like enough to be like, yeah, I'm gonna just douse everything in that. And I don't think it would really help because, I mean, I've had tons of other addiction kind of things that I've gone through that haven't really helped. So I've never really opened up to people in that regard, I guess. Having never really seen you in such a state before, your friends were briefly taken aback by your sudden and uncharacteristic outburst. One of your friends suggests that you get involved with your hobby on a more regular basis, long-term basis, suggesting that spending your energy on something you actually care about might actually help you better cope with the shittiness of your 9 to 5. That is pretty accurate. Like, I kind of consider this to be kind of my equivalent project. Like, I honestly, I think one of my main issues is that I do have so many projects that I kind of go, you know what, I should do this because this might, or this, because there's so many little things that I want to improve about my life, and there's so many of them, and I don't even know where to start, so I just end up doing as many things as I can, and that's why I'm always concerned about how productive I am, because I'm really not productive as a person. I really just suck at working, so that I end up just stressing me the hell out, or as my therapist and I tend to call it, all the things. Anyway, although you were embarrassed that you let your guard down and you felt self-conscious at seeming to have single-handedly brought the mood down at the table, you convinced yourself on the cab ride home that maybe it would be worth trying out. You began your project some months ago and have miraculously managed to keep at it, though your level of motivation and subsequent effort rises and falls considerably. While you were surprised when you started at how good it felt to actually work on something you're passionate about, lately you found it hard to muster the energy to really care about even this. So accurate. There are so many times where I'm like, I need to get a video out, and I just can't, like, there's nothing there. I hate those moments, because they're the moments that I used to identify kind of just as, like, insane amounts of boredom, which, don't get me wrong, it is kind of boredom, and that's kind of how I tend to kind of view it, but it's so much more than that, because it's the kind of boredom that you want to do something, but you really can't. You are just completely stuck. Like, you're like, let's listen to music, don't care about it, don't care about this TV show that I love, don't care about this YouTuber that I really like watching recently. It's just like, I can't do anything, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, the only thing that motivates me to move is somebody just saying, hey, move, and I don't want like end up in some kind of fight with them or whatever. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Okay. What else do we have? So we're working on our project. As soon as you think about the work that awaits you at home, you can feel the panic creeping in from the back of your brain unbidden. All you can think about is how incredibly far behind you are, and the amount of work seems nothing less than insurmountable. So accurate, especially when it's like YouTube and it's like, oh, I can't actually achieve much. Because there were points in time where I was like, the best moments is when you've been working on something for ages and you go to upload it and you realize you've lost like a bunch of stuff and you're just like, why do I even bother? Like, I know it's for fun, but at the same time it's really hard not to be discouraged by shit like that. By the time you arrive home and change out of your uncomfortable work clothes, the stress is weighing down on you like a heavy wet wool blanket. Your computer seems to be staring you down from your desk and you want to sit down and work, but the mere thought of trying to work sends your stress levels flying. More than anything, you feel suddenly and absolutely exhausted and feel a strong desire to simply hide in bed. I guess when it comes right down to it, I don't have the issue where I get super stressed. It's just that I can't be productive and I'll just kind of force myself and I'll be like, oh, I can't go outside or I can't do anything until it's done, and then I've completely lost my day to just sitting at the computer waiting to start working. Okay, so this is the first part where we actually get to have some kind of choice. So, do you order some food, grab a drink and hunker down for a night of work? Nope, can't do that because we're depressed. I do like that they kind of have it where they show like, oh, this is kind of the logical choice that you'd want to do, but you can't because of all this issues. Like, some people are kind of like, oh, well, duh, that's really harsh and offensive. I think it's kind of accurate, at least for me. So, our options are reluctantly sit down at your desk and try and make yourself do something. That is so me. Turn on the TV. I'd probably do one of these. I don't think I'd full on crawl to bed because I'm not really in that dark of a place when it comes to work. So I'm just gonna try. Let's see how we go. I bet I don't. You make a stop at the fridge, turn your favorite playlist on, and sit down to start working. You open the last file you were working on, and as soon as your hands touch the keyboard, your mind goes blank. I am very lucky in that this kind of work that I do is fairly straightforward, even though I suck with ideas recently. But I don't need much imagination, I just need to edit, and edit is just like tedious. All the motivation and ideas you had when you arrived home vanish in a flash. Your brain seizes up and you find yourself physically incapable of any sort of productive thought. You take a break to loosen up, popping into your email inbox, Twitter, and various other internet-based distraction fodder. So accurate, that's just me, 100%. Frustratingly, this pattern continues throughout the course of the evening. As soon as you try and finish on your work, your brain diverts all energy, can't even speak, away from the task at hand. While you keep flipping back to your work, you find the sheer mental effort involved in keeping your brain focused is overwhelming and tiring. A few Twitter arguments, YouTube videos, and a sparse amount of actual work later, your playlist flips back to track 1 and the ice in your glass has all but melted, diluting the last dregs of Coke you were nursing. God, I hate Coke, so that's not accurate. I'm trying to find something humorous in this. There's nothing. You look at the clock and realize that a few hours have passed since you sat down to work and you've made negligible progress. I can just wake up early tomorrow and catch up, you think to yourself as you climb into bed, even though you know that never actually happens. So accurate. In fact, there are videos that I only just finished editing and posting and stuff because I didn't do it last night, so yeah, and now it's 2:15. Okay, so I guess next. You spend a large amount. Oh, that's so accurate. Next day. It's a mild Friday afternoon, even though apparently it's 7:34, and we're with Verizon. Alex calls you from one of her classes telling you that there's going to be a really awesome birthday party tonight at her apartment that one of her roommates is throwing. You've hung out with this roommate a few times with Alex, and you get along well enough, but aren't particularly close. You don't have work in the morning and have nothing else in particular to do tonight. You are feeling kind of run down, but you have been fatigued most of the time lately. You mention that you're feeling ill because you're not sure how else to explain these feelings to someone else and say that you aren't sure if you can make it tonight. There's a second of silence over the phone, but you swear you can hear the sound of your partner's face fall. She tries to convince you anyway. You haven't seen her this week, and she sounds pretty insistent that you come over. She even drops a few suggestively worded hints that you can stay over with them tonight after the party. I'm asexual, so that's not really that much of an appeal to me. What do you do? Shake it off? Shake off your funk and have a good time with your friends? Nope. See, that's the thing, like, I mean, I don't really talk to my friends about it, so I don't really have this issue where they're just like, shake off your funk. But yeah, like, that doesn't happen. Like, depression isn't a funk that you just shake off. Like, I mean, I mean, the thing is, like, I'm going to a therapist, and I have been for the past couple of months, and I obviously do that with the hope that I will get better, but even then, I don't think I'm gonna, like, full on get better. Like, I think it's gonna be a management, not a cure. So, I'm gonna say that I'd agree to go, because I don't really. Okay, cool. Okay, we're recording it again. Okay, so we're gonna agree to go. You agree to go even though you're not feeling very social. We got party music, but it's still kind of sad. You know it's important to Alex and you'd really like to see her. Seeing her does make you feel better sometimes, and you hope that this is the case tonight, even if it does mean dealing with all the usual social anxiety. The time to leave rolls around and you grab your overnight bag. Alex's apartment is a short walk away, and there are already people hanging out on the porch. You feel your chest tighten as you approach the building and try to steel your nerves. You quickly find your partner chatting away with the birthday girl, and Alex immediately lightens up when she sees you. I'm so happy you came. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it. A young man taps her on the shoulder and she turns back to you to apologize and let you know that they have to do something for the party. Alex hands you a beer and plants a kiss on your cheek before going off to deal with whatever came up. As you look around, you don't see anyone else you recognize. Oh wow. I can totally feel this. Because I'm pretty introverted, and I've been invited to a few parties, but they're all kind of at nightclubs, and they're like in the city and stuff, and I'm like, I can't be bothered. But the few times that I do go to parties, like, I always just like cling to like one or two people that I know fairly well, and like, I always feel weird because because they're usually with other friends, and I'm kind of being the third wheel. So we are going to have to decide if we're going to awkwardly stand in the same spot, unsure what else to do. Put your bag in Alex's room and avoid the crowd there for a while. Cling to the back wall, sip your beer, and wait for your girlfriend to return, or proceed to drink in earnest, hoping it makes you less uncomfortable. And I'm actually going to be making that decision in the next episode, which will be coming next week. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This is honestly, I'm really liking this game. It's very relatable. So I'm going to keep playing this, and I hope you guys will either play along or you'll just keep watching me or whatever. And yeah, awesome times. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week.